Now for those of you who haven't seen it or don't want to know what happens, I'd fast forward the next bit because I'm pretty much going to give the story away by telling you what happens in it. So press fast forward. So I'd kind of read bits where it said that obviously Christine dies in Love Never Dies, ironically, and I'd read how it happens and her demise at the hands of Meg Giry, and I didn't really understand how Meg Giry, what was going to happen to make Meg Giry do what she does. But I went down to see it nonetheless and didn't really expect anything of it, if I'm honest. But I was completely and utterly proven wrong. I absolutely love it. I mean, I knew the music anyway because I'd listened to the soundtrack. So I knew that there were songs in there that I was going to like Till I Hear You Sing, Love Never Dies, Why Does She Love Me, and the music at the very end that symbolises Christine's. So I knew there was going to be songs that I liked. But I went and I sat on the top floor about 5 or 6 rows back. Wasn't sure what the seats were going to be like. Thought I'm going to miss half it because I won't be able to see. But if anybody's going to go down and doesn't want to pay £70 for the stalls, I wouldn't have I would choose to sit upstairs time and time again now, just because £70. I mean, I won't pay £70 for anything, for any ticket. I mean, it's to me £70 is just stupid. I mean, Ramin could be butt naked wrestling Joseph Milson in chocolate, and I probably wouldn't go. No, actually, come to think of it, I would pay £70 to see that, but I wouldn't. I just think £70 is a stupid amount of money to pay for a ticket. So I sat upstairs, and I would definitely say to people, sit upstairs. If you don't want to pay £70, don't, because you don't lose anything being upstairs. So I went down in May to see it the first time, and just absolutely loved it. Granted, I missed most of the story because I was too busy sort of swooning over Ramin, and well, yeah, I spent most of the show going. So I organised to go down again last weekend to see it again, and I went down I stayed with my sister on Friday night, who lives between here and London, and then went down to London on Saturday morning. Had sort of a day catching up with friends, and I went to see the matinee of Sister Act, which is quite possibly the campest thing I've ever seen. You can't really take it seriously, but it is a good laugh, and Bettina Miller has the most incredible voice. And then I got lost getting from the Palladium back to my hotel. Thankfully my hotel was next door but one to the theatre where Love Never Dies is, so it didn't really matter that I got lost and ended up hailing a taxi because I'd walked 25 minutes in the wrong direction. And yeah, so I'd seen Ramin before. I've just seen him in Wolverhampton, I'd seen him in Phantom of the Opera, and I'd seen him in Love Never Dies, and because he's announced that he's probably leaving in March, I thought, go down, because it might be your last chance to go and see him. And I got to the theatre eventually, and I sat upstairs again, I think about 4 rows back this time, and had no problem at all. I mean, the rake of the seats is so steep that it doesn't matter if there's some 6-foot bozo sitting in front of you, because you can see straight over the top of the heads. So I sat through the show, absolutely loved it. I didn't like the character of Madame Giry before, probably because Liz Robertson played it, and I just didn't like the way she did it. But that's my personal opinion. And I think this time it was an understudy, and she was actually really good. So I'm starting to get Madame Giry and get why she's a bit clingy and screamy and screechy and a bit. So it got to the end, and usually I don't tend to go to stage doors.